Okay, perfect. So we'll probably have a few other people join us as we're on the call here. But basically, I had asked in my team page what people wanted to hear about and what's something that's really relevant to them right now and what they want to hear. So one of the biggest topics that kept coming up was how to grow your team, how to advance in your business, but also help other women grow in their business and feel that fire to grow and wanting that same desire that you do. Now, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you right off the hop is that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can give them all the tools, all the motivation that you want, but you can't feel down on yourself if someone just doesn't want it as bad as you want it for them. Do your job as a leader, be a strong leader, but and work hard at it and inspire them, but also don't feel like you did something wrong if those women don't want to grow a business, because not everybody does, right? It's just the reality of it. But there are people out there that do, people on your team that want it, challengers of yours that would like to join you in this business. But sometimes they just need a little motivating or inspiring to do that. Okay, so one of the first things I want you guys to do, whether or not you have a coach under you right now, one coach, two coaches, I want you to start your own team page. I want you to make your own team page. You don't need to have a name for it. It can just be something like Kirsten's personally sponsored coaches. That can be what it's called. Don't feel like you need to have a creative team name, because my coach has been doing it for 3 years and she just got a team name like last month. So don't feel like that's something you need to do. People will know you because of your name and your image and your brand, probably more so than they will your team name. So start off just by you and a teammate. And then the next thing is creating team culture. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about creating team culture, but one of them is actually being involved in the businesses and in the lives of your coaches, wanting to learn more about them, wanting to grow with them, wanting to just be present in their business and help them grow. Because there's a lot of coaches out there that'll sign up members to their team and kind of just disappear. They don't really, talk to them, support them, comment or like on their photos, offer them training opportunities. By you being a friend first and a coach second, that makes culture, that builds a team. And that's one of the main reasons that I always say when you're building a team, be sure that you're recruiting people that you want to spend every day with, that you're okay with working with these people. Because in the past, I've been like, oh, I just want, a really big team, so I'm going to let anybody be on Team Full Heart. And I've done that. And then either A, they quit 3 weeks later, or B, they're not meshing with the team vibe whatsoever, very negative or very just pessimistic and just hard to work with. And you think, man, like maybe I'm not putting out there what I expect of a Team Full Heart coach. So you have to be willing to put out what you want to receive. So you have to share that with the world. You need to share what your team is about, even if you have one person on your team, right? You need to share what you are looking for in a team member. And that's one of the things, like I talk about what challenge groups and what the coaches on my team have done for me, the friendships that I've built, because that's what attracts people to join something like this, is knowing that it's not just dollars and cents and, rank advancements. It's about this community, because I know that I have some really dear friends that are a part of this. And as a result of this, right, I wouldn't have met these women had it not been for coaching. And I am eternally grateful for that, because they're lifelong friends. I know that for sure. So sharing the culture and the vibe publicly, but also building it within the group. Sometimes each month I have a top coach gift for my coaches. It's nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but each month I send them a little prize for doing their job. And it's not always the top Success Club earner that earns that prize. Sometimes it's a new coach that hit Success Club for the first time and they're super pumped up. Or maybe it's a coach that sold her first challenge pack and she's been doing this for a while and I'm super proud of her for getting out of her shell. Or maybe it's someone who posted before and after photos who was really nervous to do that, but ended up inspiring a ton of people. So I always like to let people know that yes, Success Club's important and it's a really good gauge as to how strong your business is. But by that alone, you need to make sure that there's other components that are what you consider or define as successful. Okay. So there's a lot of different things that determine that. So, but also one of the things, I usually don't give a prize to someone who hasn't hit Success Club, because that's one of our main foundations, right? But usually it'll be for things on top of that. Leadership, or maybe they did something good within their community, whatever it is, you just need to define that. And then also, it's tough to do, but if you have coaches locally, oh my gosh, get together with them if you can. It breaks my heart that like the majority of my coaches are not near me because I can't do that. So if you have the opportunity to get together with ladies in your community and just like brainstorm, have coffee, have wine, have cheesecake, whatever, Shaco, it doesn't matter. Just get together, because when you're in like a room with these people, like if you think it's inspiring to be in challenge groups with them, and if you think it's inspiring to see them on Facebook, oh my gosh, imagine what it's like in person. So if you can create team culture that way, I recommend that you do it, because it's really, really fun. And I know if any of you guys are going to Summit, your like excitement meter is going to burst. Like it's just, when you get there, you're like, these people are all real, and I can touch them, and I can hug them, and I can tell them how much they mean to me. And it's funny because you'll see people and you're like, oh yeah, I've known them forever. And then you go up to them and you're like, oh wait, we've never actually met in person. And this is weird because I know like the theme of your kid's birthday party last week. But anyways, it's like so strange. But building team culture starts with relationships. And that's ultimately going to grow your team, because not only will you be inspired and enjoy coaching, your coaches will, and they'll inspire people, and they'll inspire people. And it just keeps on going. But you have to develop a reason for people to want to join you. So if it's because of that community and that sense of fun and that success and the sisterhood, that's great. But you have to make sure that your coaches are conveying that as well. And if you're ever wondering, okay, what can I be doing more for my coaches? What do they need? Ask them. What do you want to learn about? What do you want to get out of this business? Is there, what are your main goals as being a coach? Because if their biggest goal and their biggest dream for coaching is to just supplement their income so they don't have to work overtime anymore, maybe that's all it is. So don't push them to say, oh, you'll quit and you'll be a full-time Beachbody coach, because maybe that's not what they want. Maybe they want to earn a really good income, but they want to stay with what they're doing. They love their job. Like me right now, I work 2 days a week as a dental hygienist because I actually really like what I do. And I found an office I like working at. Will that be the same when I have kids? I'm not sure. But at least right now, I know that I just want to keep going and going with this business and try and keep up the same amount of hours that I'm working. So I want to work smarter, not harder. And my coach knows that. So she's not going to be like, okay, when's your retirement date? That's not in the plans for me right now. I don't really want to. But for some people, that's their biggest drive, or maybe they want to be at home with the kids, so knowing what your coaches want out of the business is important, because if they're just in it for a discount, they want to help out a few people here and there, don't waste your time and energy trying to make them want something they don't want. You can share with them the success that you're having, your team is having, and sharing that within the group. But then when it comes to really wanting them to want a goal that's above their head, it's good for them to dream big, and it's good for you to want that for them. But I think it's really important that you know what they want, because then you can help them reach whatever goal it is they want. And then you don't have to focus so much time on something that's probably not going to get you very far. And it'll frustrate you, right? Because you're like, oh, like they have the potential to do such amazing things, and they can, be a Success Club legend, and they can do all these things. But if you ask them, they're like, actually, yeah, I just want the discount. Okay, then move on. Focus your time on people that want that, okay? And they might come around eventually. Don't give up on them entirely, but just don't waste too much of your energy on that sort of thing. The next thing I had from here was lead from the front. You can't expect your team to hit Success Club, and you can't expect your team to build a team if you're not doing the same. So it's not the type of business where we sit at the back, we tell them what to do, and they go off and do it, and we don't really see the action. We don't know what they're going through. We don't get it. That's kind of like a managerial position, right? Like they know what you're doing. They kind of get it, but they have to make sure you're doing it, but they don't really know all the work and the struggle to get to where you have to go, right? So, but for us, we lead from the front. We have to hit Success Club too. I also have to hit different goals in my business. I also had to, get to diamond the same way you do. I had to get to 1-star the same way you do, right? So we know what it takes, but you have to lead from the front and be prepared to do that. Because if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not doing personal development, if you're not doing a workout, it's really hard to criticize someone for not doing the same. So you need to be able to be a strong leader in that sense. And it's okay. Don't think like, oh, I didn't hit Success Club last month, I'm a bad leader. That happens. That's real. But a good leader gets over it, right? They're not like, oh God, like I need to like focus all my time and energy and, I'm so upset and I can't believe I did this. I should quit. No, you're a good leader. You're a strong leader and you're resilient. And that's something that's really valuable as a coach, showing people like, you know what? I'm human. I screwed up last month. I didn't have a very good month, but here are the steps I'm taking to make this month even better. Because sometimes I do a gut check with myself. If I'm like, it's slow this month, I'll sit back and be like, have you invited people to your challenge group today? Okay. Have you invited people to coaching lately? You have to sit down and be real with yourself. If you're like, oh, my business isn't growing, are you doing steps to make your business grow? Or are you thinking in your head, well, I'm posting 3 times a day. Like I'm posting on my Facebook. People are supposed to join me, right? No, unfortunately, that's not the case. Sometimes it is. Sometimes people see it and be super inspired and message you. But for me, I was nervous. Like I saw Morgan posting forever and I was like, wow, like good for her. Like she's super fit. That's great. But like, I'm not, I have no idea what she's doing. And then one day she messaged me and said, hey, do you want to join my next challenge group? And I literally was like, yes, please. Now, here's my money, take it. And I'm going to join you, so it's just like, it's so easy. And sometimes people will be like, oh no, it's not for me. It's okay. That's fine. They'll be back eventually. They always do. But don't think that inviting people is a sleazy thing. It can be really personal and it can be really non-intimidating. If you send them 5 paragraphs explaining the complete nutrition plan the first time you talk to them, that's weird. And that's like uncomfortable. But if it's like a 3-sentence invitation to an upcoming online fitness challenge that you have, they'll ask you for more information. Then you can have a conversation organically that way rather than bombarding them with information they never asked for. So that's my next tip. So then the other one is do the trainings. If you're upline coach or within your network, there's an offered training, a leadership training, a Success Club training, a whatever kind of training, running a good challenge group, whatever it is, take it. Take advantage of it because darn well those aren't hard. You just have to be present. You have to be willing to put in 10 minutes a day into the training, do the assignment and move on. And a lot of people will kind of coast through and they're like, yeah, add me to a training group. And then you're like, you told me to add you to a training group and you haven't done anything. What's going on? Where are you? And then they're like, oh yeah, like I had full intentions. So just do the trainings. There's so much out there. And then one of the other things I find really, really valuable is YouTube. Oh my gosh. Like the top 10 coaches have so much content on their YouTube channels. And if you don't know who the top 10 coaches are, Google it. You'll find it right away. And go to their YouTube channels and learn. Oh my gosh. Like Anita Myron, her and I aren't connected like in any way, but I learned so much from her YouTube channel. She's the one who taught me how to run my Instagram page. And I almost have 3,000 followers. I started out with like 400. And after her training, I have so many more. So it's really valuable to put yourself out there and take ownership of your business and not rely on someone else to build it for you. Because sometimes we get caught up in like, well, my coach didn't offer me like an Instagram training, so I don't know. No, my coach doesn't use Instagram, like barely. Like she posts a few times a day. But I was like, you know what? I love Instagram. I love taking pictures and I know my pictures are really nice. So you know what? I think I'm going to do that. And Instagram has been really good for me. Not only has it grown my network and then ultimately added people to my Facebook that way, but I've also sold challenge packs through Instagram. People want to join my groups and it's a really good platform. And it's I think one of the things you'll see this year grow even more popular for sure. So not saying you guys need to hone in on your Instagram account, but I need you to hone in on what you like and what you're good at. If you're really good at cooking, maybe you should start a free recipe swap group for anyone for free, right? Anyone can join it. Maybe you should start like an online, like an ebook. Oh my gosh, that sounds intimidating, but I bet you could find a YouTube on an ebook about if you have a really inspiring weight loss journey, or maybe you want to do a recipe book, something like that. those are things that are going to attract people. Because one of the biggest differences, I was talking to a friend of Alex and I, she is a journalist, and she wrote an article the other day about multi-level marketing, and she interviewed me for it. And she said, instantly, the thing I noticed that's different about Beachbody, at least your business, is that you're offering free things or valuable content to people. Whereas It Works, and I'm not trashing other companies, I'm just saying from what I see on mine, Tupperware, you're just saying, this is my product. This is my product. This is my product. This is my product. Whereas we will say, hey, like, I have a free meal swap group. If anyone struggles with like healthy eating that tastes good, join my group. I post a lot in there. People are like, for free? Like, I don't have to pay? No, just join it. It's good. Join. Or maybe you post some workout moves, like a quick 5-minute video of you doing ab exercises that anyone that follows you can do. They're like, oh, perfect. Sweet. I'm just going to do that today. Or maybe you have an inspirational quote that's helped you overcome a body image disorder, or you're sharing your journey. Those are valuable pieces of content that people want to follow, right? So we're offering free, valuable content that's going to make your team grow. So people are going to realize that's a company with integrity. That's a company with an actual service to offer. So that's one of the things that I always tell my coaches, post with purpose, because if there's a purpose behind it and it's helpful and it's insightful, and it's not just a quote from Pinterest, but it's your face or it's your workouts or whatever it is, you have to share that. So my next biggest tip for growing your team, find a success partner. I always tell Virginia, like, she has helped me so much growing my business, and just helping me think outside the box. She's strengthened me in areas that I wasn't as strong in. When it comes to like workout videos and workout moves, that's kind of her key, right? That's her niche. She's good at that. She shares that a lot and people love it. So I always think like, okay, I need to do more of that. I need to get out of my box and do that. So it's nice having someone you can bounce ideas off of. Spend your Saturday nights, have a glass of wine and have a Zoom call with them and just think, okay, what are we going to do next week? What's our next big thing? And then like a year later, here you are planning a party for you guys in Nashville, and OPS, it's already like booked. She got back to me today. It's going to be so fun. Oh my God. Anyways, but just things like that. And it's nice to have someone to say like, hey, I went 6-star qualifying this morning. And you're like, yes, you're a boss. I love you. Oh my gosh. And then like you send each other gifts in the mail. It's so fun. But find someone. And if you don't know, like if you see someone in a call or you follow them on Facebook and you're like, man, they're inspiring. It doesn't have to be in your downline. Message them, be like, hey, I have a girl crush on you and I love the way you run your business. Are you looking for a success partner? Because I'm wanting to advance my biz and I think together we could move mountains. And chances are the person will be like, yeah, girl, sign me up. I want to be a part of that. So I recommend finding a success partner, getting out of your comfort zone, setting up times to talk or text or talk on the phone, whatever it is, and help build your business. And I know like AMQ and Sarah, ask them, like, has their business grown since they've partnered up and, really put their heads together? I guarantee you they would say yes. Anyone who's had a success partner, and it's not like a lifelong commitment. I've had another success partner. She lives in Florida, very different places in our lives. But her and I, we creatively get along so well and bounce ideas off each other. So that's nice to have those relationships. So I recommend building one of those. So then the next thing, and I kind of touched on this already, was doing what you ask your team to do. You can't ask people to do something that you're not prepared to do. If you're saying, hey, you should do personal development. If you're not doing personal development, it's not fair that you're asking your team to. If you're not doing a workout program right now, it's really hard to say to your team, hey, like I read statistics from Beachbody that coaches that are actively doing a program beginning to end are much more successful than coaches that bounce around workout to workout. You should try that, see if it works for you. But if you're not willing to do that, that's a struggle, right? So just be willing to be a strong leader from the front and do what you ask your team to do. And then the last point I have, and I know we talk about this all the time and it probably gets annoying, but personal development, guys, honestly, it doesn't have to be like anything about numbers and business and like rich dad, poor dad type of stuff. Like, that's not me at all. I'm the type of person, I need to read personal development and be like, oh, my heart feels so warm now. I feel so good. Like, that's what I learned from more than anything. Because when you learn about yourself and when you grow yourself, ultimately your business will follow suit, because you're being more confident, you're happier. So how could you not be more successful if you're feeling more confident and happy, right? It just puts you in a better state of mind to get your business done, to have conversations with people. Maybe you struggle with reaching out to strangers and inviting them to challenge groups or commenting on strangers' pictures. Maybe then that's the time to say, okay, I need to build my confidence. So Google personal development books to build confidence. Or maybe you feel like you're struggling as a leader in your group and you want to be a strong leader. Then find a book, Personal Development for Strong Leadership. So that's honestly what I did. I remember in our house, it's just the two of us and we have enough crap in this house for like 60 people, I swear. And I was so fed up. So I'm like, I'm becoming a minimalist. Just like last summer, I decided I was becoming a minimalist. I threw away everything I own basically. And I Googled how to become a minimalist, or books to help you become a minimalist. And that's when I read that book, what's it called now? Someone in here has read it, I'm sure. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. So good. Anyways, it's translated from, I believe she's Japanese, but it goes through like feng shui and how decluttering your house declutters your mind and how it can help you focus on the task at hand. And so I Googled that and that's what came up and I did it. And it was so good. And like, not only did my business benefit from it, because I had like perfect folders for the things that I needed them to be in. I had my trackers laid out, but my house was clean and everyone was happy. So that's awesome. So find something that suits you. So if I'm going to give you any like assignment for today or for the next week, there's two of them. One is to find a success partner. Reach out, tell someone that they inspire you and you want them to be a part of growing your business and you want to help them do the same. And the second one is to find a personal development book that you love and then post about it on your personal page, whether it be a book or an audio book. And I find myself, I will read books when I'm at the cabin and I have more downtime. But at home, when I'm working and I'm busy, I listen to podcasts or I listen to audiobooks. If I'm driving around, I'll have an audiobook playing and I'll listen to it that way. Or if I'm driving out to the cabin, it's like an hour and 15 minutes. I can get through a lot of an audiobook that way. So do what works for you. If you love sitting down and flipping through pages, do a book. But if it's not as much your style, then listen to an audiobook. But I promise you that you will see your business flourish. And you will see that, like I said, your team will pick up on that. The girls that you are helping build a business will notice a change in your perception of success. It will change in your attitude towards them and their business. You'll just be a better leader all around. And I think if you ask any top female CEO in this world, they probably do some form of personal development. They probably sit down with like Oprah, but they have all these amazing resources and I guarantee you they all do personal development to some form. So that's what I keep telling myself, like really successful people do personal development and they go see Tony Robbins and they do these sorts of things. So that's why I find it so important. So I'd love to see you guys tag, if I'm your sponsor coach or whoever your sponsor coach is, tag them in your post and say, this is what I'm diving into. I know I post a lot about fitness and nutrition, but personal development is something so dear to my heart. And I know that it's going to make me not only a better leader for my team of coaches, it'll make me a better coach for my challengers. It might make me, a happier girlfriend. It'll make me a better mom. These are all the reasons why I've traded in my Jodi Picoult books for personal development for the summer. So it's a really good thing to post about. And that's a journey that a lot of people would like to follow because as women, we struggle with confidence. A lot of us do. We struggle with body image. We struggle with a lot of different things. We've got a lot on our shoulders. So I think by posting that journey publicly and sharing that with people, being vulnerable and saying, I struggle with but I'm doing this to overcome it. And I'm posting a lot about it in my challenge group and I'd love for you to join. And I'm rambling again, but I'd love to hear some questions or suggestions for you guys on what's helped you guys grow your team. I'd love to hear that. And if you have any questions, unmute yourself and ask. or I'll pick on you. Let's see here. Christine, do you have any questions? Yeah. Oh, I can't hear you. You must be muted. I think you're muted. I can't see. Oh, it says you don't even have like the ability to talk. It says like you have video feed, but no microphone. If you have questions, you can put it in the chat option at the bottom. Let's see here. AMQ, if there was anything that you could recommend, sorry, I know you're doing your hair. If there was anything you could recommend for growth of your team, what would it be?
Sorry, I'm just getting ready to go to the airport. Naturally. But yeah, so it's actually no secret that I've had a really rough month just because when I started in this business, I got really excited and I wanted a ton of coaches like right out the gates. And I had very, very huge goals for myself and I wanted to hit diamond really, really quickly. And I did that. But in the process, it's kind of what you said at the beginning. I sort of just took whoever, and that was a really big mistake. I think, looking back, I've had a lot of conversations with you and a couple of other coaches, and I'm just scaling back and not necessarily looking for coaches who, know that they want to do this as a full-time job, but more just reaching out to challengers who are seeing success and are really connecting with the Beachbody community, and then going from there. Because it's true. If you see success and you love this community as a challenger, of course you're going to love it as a coach. It's kind of a no-brainer. So that's kind of where I'm focusing a lot of my energy. And I think just even in the last month doing that, one of my newest coaches is a boss, and she was a great challenger, and it's just who she is. And so it's really nice. I wake up every morning and I'm more motivated to look for new coaches and help my current coaches because of the fact that I know that I'm not bothering them. A really shitty feeling was at the beginning with a couple of my first coaches when I was messaging them, telling them, hey, like you should participate in the trainings. I would like wince when I sent them the message, knowing that there might be a 50% chance that they were like, ugh, like she's messaging me again. That's not a feeling that you want, right? You want to be messaging them and them sending like heart emojis and hearts and eyes face like back at you. And like, that's what you want. That's me. That's who I am. So that's what I want back. So I think it's exactly what you said. You just, you get what you put out. And I think people they just feel your stress. I think I know that. That's just who I am. I feel like people can just feel it right off of me. And then that creates just creates the worst people. It just attracts the bad ones. So I would just say, for me, I'm still growing my team. I'm not even close to comfortable with where I'm at, but I've just decided to only go with people that I like, if that makes sense. It's kind of just exactly what you said at the beginning. If I get an icky feeling about you, no. Sorry, but no. Because it's true. We have to work with them every day. And I don't want to feel like I'm bothering you. I want you to be excited when you message me on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, Kirsten messaged me. That's what I want. I want my coaches to be excited to hear from me, not oh God, the boss needs me. That's not what this is. So I've just noticed that that's changed a lot. And it was just a simple switch. It was yeah, okay, Amanda, yes, you want to rank advance, but what does rank advancing really mean if you have a bunch of shitty robot people underneath you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just very honest with myself. And I think it's so easy to, you've talked about this so many times, it's so easy to get caught up in Success Club and, getting coaches and rank advancing. But if you're not happy, that's what's going to make you ultimately, I feel that's what's going to make you ultimately doubt yourself, is if you're doing something wrong from the beginning, if you're leading the wrong way, then if you're maybe I'm going to stop coaching, it's your fault. You kind of did that, So for me, it was when I had a bad month, this past month, I was just what am I doing wrong? And I knew exactly what it was, and I changed it. So the one piece of advice for any new coaches, I don't know how many of you on this call are fairly new, but there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves, I think, to advance quickly. And that's awesome. If you can do it, that's great. But, you have to like the people you're working with, because it's a killer. It's a spirit killer if you don't.
And like the comparison game plays such a big role. And I think all my life I had been a person who compares myself to others, to my friends. I wanted all my friends, I remember growing up, had like the nicest silver jeans. And my mom was like, hell no, girlfriend, you're not getting $100 jeans. You're still growing. Like, no, you're getting like some bootlegger, like whatever. Like you get like bootlegger sale jeans. You're not getting silver. And I'm so mad because I was comparing myself to all my other friends. Like, that's what I want. I want silver jeans with like the stitching on the bum. I want that. No, you have to stop comparing yourself to other people, because if I did that, oh my gosh, did you know me and Bonnie Engel started around the same time? Let that sink in for a moment. That would make you feel like this big. And if I let myself think about that for too long, I'd be like, oh, that's frightening. Okay, she's a top 10 coach. And then it's like, no, girlfriend, you know what? You've come a long way in 2 years, and not even from a business perspective, like from like a health and wellness perspective. Like I can do laundry and I don't sweat anymore. Like that's a good thing. Like I'm not super exhausted going up and down my stairs. And if it means that coaching kept me accountable to my fitness journey, I wouldn't have a single regret in the world, because you know darn well coaching helps us do that, right? Because we started off as challengers. We started off loving the results that we got. And our coaches always tell us, you know, being a coach keeps you accountable. That is so true, because I know that I want to be the best example for people around me. And I've had so many people reach out and say, you're so inspiring. You're not perfect, but you're real. You share about your cellulite on your thighs and how you're okay with it. You're like, you know what? That's fine. I'm healthy. I'm happy. That's good. I don't have to be a perfect Instagram model in order to be successful in this business, but I do have to be real and I have to forge ahead. So that's something I want you all to know, that, and I know this is so off topic right now, but just embrace yourself and love yourself, and never share like, you know, I really want to get rid of this ring around my belly. Be like, you know what? My goal is to be super happy. I want to be the healthiest version of me. And if that means I get abs in the process, that's nice. But I want to be happy, and I want to feel good in my skin, and I want to frolic on that beach in my bikini and not care what jiggles. That's what I want. And if that's what Beachbody can do for our challengers and for our coaches, that's the important stuff. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions or comments that they'd like to make before we end our call?
Just the whole freaking thing.
Everyone's good? Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess I won't pick on anyone else. Picked on AMQ, and then I picked on the one who didn't have a microphone, so that worked out good. Okay, well, if you have any questions at all, let me know. Finish those 2 little assignments today. That would be awesome. Well, not today, but before the next call. And I'd love to see what books you decided to pick, because I'm always looking for new personal development books. And yeah, just be a good leader, be strong and be confident and believe in yourself, because I started where you are, right? Like I started there too. I've never been a Success Club 30 coach. That's never been me, ever. But I have been consistent. I've been like, okay, I got to work my booty off to get Success Club 10 or Success Club 5, whatever it is. But I know that I can do that because I've done it every month before. So I just know that I have to stay consistent. I have to stay to the course of the plan. I have to do the basic things that on day 1, my coach told me I needed to do. And that if I'm not doing that and I don't hit Success Club, I have to be prepared to be okay with that. I have to be okay with not growing or not hitting Success Club if I'm not doing those things. But I'm not going to be okay with that, because this job has helped me live the life I live now. So, and I tell this every time at the end, if you have a topic you want us to cover, if you want us to go over anything on our next call, I'm trying to think what next weekend is. I think next weekend's Father's Day, right? I think it's Father's Day. So maybe we'll have one, maybe we won't. I'll just kind of feel for it and see if you guys are available. But yeah, we'll go over whatever topic you guys want to talk about. You know, Virginia and I will usually say, oh, we get these questions lots from our coaches, but if you directly approach us and say, I want you guys to talk about this, we'll talk about that. So have an amazing Sunday. I hope you guys have a great week. June and July are big months in Beachbody, so take advantage of that. Ride the wave and really dive into your business. And I can't wait to see all of you grow. And next week, you'll be like, yeah, like I feel so much better. I'm such a boss babe. Be like, yeah, Great. So we'll talk soon, guys, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and we'll be in touch and hopefully see you guys on Sunday. Bye.